What's going on, guys? Hey, this is Coulton Woods, and you are listening to another episode of Learning from the Experts. And today, I actually want to talk to you about something that I learned from my dad, something that he failed to recognize, or at least I feel like he failed to recognize it. But I totally learned something from it that just shaped the way that I looked at things and the way I bought things in the future.
So here's the deal. I know how frustrating it is to waste countless hours sifting through wannabe experts who never actually help you in the end. Then to learn years later that there was a real expert who could have helped you 100 times faster than learning it on your own. I have created this podcast to save you time and money while taking you on a journey with me as I learn from real experts who can actually help you grow your business. My name is Coulton Woods, and you're listening to Learning from the Experts.
What's going on, guys? Hey, so as a kid, I remember so many times my dad would always essentially just, whenever he had to buy anything, especially if he didn't want it, but whenever he had to buy anything, he would go with whatever was just the cheapest option. And as a kid, I'm like, that's kind of weird, but I guess you get it. You know, you want the cheapest option because who wants to pay more for something that they don't necessarily need more of, or it's the same thing, right? So why pay more for it? Well, I remember we had this truck growing up, and my dad just would never could seem to get rid of this truck. But what happened was we must have gone through at least 8 transmissions in this one truck. It was pretty bad. I don't know why he didn't get rid of it after like number 2. But the transmission on this truck would go out and he would just go get it rebuilt. He wouldn't buy a new transmission. He wouldn't buy a high performance transmission. He would just go to the cheapest mechanic he could and just go get it rebuilt. And I think it's just because he had the truck paid off and he didn't want to go buy a new truck or go through all the hassle of getting a new truck or a new car payment, whatever it may be. And so his thought was, okay, well, I'll just buy, or I'll just have somebody, redo this transmission for as cheap as I can, because I don't want to put a whole lot of money into this truck that's not worth a ton of money anyway. So he would just go to the local mechanic guy and have him rebuild it for as cheap as he could. And then not too long after that, the transmission would go out again. And it kept happening and happening and happening. Finally, he's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I just got to get rid of it. And he finally got rid of the truck. But what's funny is like he did that in a lot of other things that I saw also. Whenever we'd go to the store and he had to buy a replacement part or whatever it may be for something, he would always just go with the cheapest option. Now, I totally get it. You want to go with the cheap option, especially if it's not like something that's worth a whole lot. Why put some more money into it than you need to? But then I also saw the other side of it too. And multiple times he would have to go buy that part again because it had broke or whatever, didn't work, or it worked only for a little bit. When if he would have just bought a little bit more of an expensive part in the first place, it wouldn't have broke or wouldn't have had as many issues as it did. And a lot of times I look at people getting started online in the marketing or online marketing area, and they want someone to help them for free, or they want somebody that can tell them how to do it that isn't making any money yet, or will give them free advice on how they can do it. And so they go with those people, they find those people and they say, okay, I found this free option. I can totally, learn from this person what I need to in order to make money. I see it over and over again, when in reality, that can get you started and that's totally fine. I get it. There's a lot of good information out there for free. But it's not always the most constructed information or the right information that's going to help you out. So I think of it in the same way as when you're looking for someone to get you started or do a service for you or get something rolling for you that you need, you can go find the cheap person and get a cheap result. Or you can find somebody who knows what they're doing and get a better result, an expert result, or a high performance result out of it. Just like as if my dad would have spent the extra money to buy a high performance transmission in his truck, he could have gotten a high performance result out of it and not had to buy or have somebody rebuild this transmission all the time, or have issues and go out, different things like that, when he could have just spent the extra money and had extra high performance results from it. So that was actually a story that I shared in in our Facebook groups called Hack-A-Malem. And I shared that when I was like, you know what, I got to make that a podcast. That's too good to pass up. So thought I would make it more of a podcast episode. I just kind of shared it fairly quickly on the Facebook Live there, but I thought I'd give you guys a little bit more of an insight of what I was thinking with that story, and how you guys can apply it to, those who you are looking at online, or different experts online that you may be wanting to use for a service, whatever it may be. That way you can maybe kind of think about it a little bit more, and what you're actually, or who you're actually going to pick. I totally look at it the same way. I don't want to go find somebody online to follow that has no success or know anything. I'm totally going to go find somebody that does have success in that area, or is an expert in that specific area. So I just thought I'd drop that with you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback or a review, would be awesome. I'd love to see that. Please feel free to drop me a review anywhere on iTunes or whatever platform you may be on at this time. But thank you so much for following, and thank you very much for listening to me today, and we will talk to you all later.
Are you looking to jumpstart your business by learning or getting help from the real experts? Go to learningfromtheexperts.com to find pre-approved experts that I've handpicked for you. Please don't forget to let me know how I'm doing by subscribing, rating, and leaving feedback.